Happy Friday, boys and girls. It's Miss Morton, and it's Friday. So we're gonna finish our farming unit, and we're gonna read 2 books today. First, we're gonna read Food from Farms. Do you think this is a nonfiction or fiction book? Remember, nonfiction tells us information and gives us facts. All right, we have a table of contents again that tells us where we can find information. So we're gonna learn what is a farm. We're gonna learn about plants for food, animals for food, getting food from farms. We're gonna learn about all that information. So what is a farm? A farm is a place where food is grown. Farmers sell the food for people to eat. Plants for food. What plants do we use for food? Farmers grow plants for us to eat. This farmer is growing peanuts. Sweet corn grows on a farm. Yummy sweet corn. Potatoes grow on a farm. And fruit grows on a farm. What fruit is that? Bananas. Animals for food. Farmers keep animals that give us food. There's some sheep. Beef and milk comes from cows. Bacon and ham comes from pigs. Meat and eggs come from chickens, like chicken nuggets or chicken tenders come from chickens. And eggs. Getting food from farms. Farmers pick when it's ready to eat. The food is packed and keep it safe. So they pick the food when it's all ready and then they pack it away to keep it nice and safe. Some food from farms is made into other food. So, right, in this picture they're using the apples from a farm to make hot apple cider. Wheat can be made into bread. So if a farmer harvests wheat, some people use that to make bread. Oranges can be made into juice, and milk can be made into cheese. Trucks take the food to stores, and we buy the food at the stores. All right, what is bread made from? Let's see if you remember. Wheat. Bread is made from wheat. So did this book give us facts and information, or was it a story from somebody's imagination? It gave us facts and information. So this is a nonfiction book. It gave us real life facts. We're gonna read another story called Big Red Barn. Do you think this story is made from somebody's imagination, or do you think it's gonna give us facts? Let's read to find out. Big Red Barn. By the big red barn in the great green field, there was a pink pig who was learning to squeal. There was a great big horse and a very little horse. So there's the pink pig learning to squeal. And there's the great big horse and the very little horse. And on every barn is a weather vane, of course, a golden flying horse. That tells you which way the wind is going. It can spin around. It's called a weather vane. There is a big pile of hay and a little pile of hay, and that is where the children play. But in this story, the children are away and only the animals are here today. The sheep and the donkey and the geese and the goats were making funny noises down in their throats. An old scarecrow was leaning on his hoe, and a field mouse was born. In a field of corn. Look, if you look super closely, there's a baby field mouse. Cock-a-doodle-doo-doo! In the farm there was a rooster and a pigeon too, and a big white hen standing on one leg, and under the hen was a quiet egg. So there's the rooster and the pigeon and then the big white hen with her quiet little egg. There was a bantam rooster and a little bantam hen with a big clutch of eggs. Count them, there are 10. Can you count them for me? Good job. Cock-a-doodle-doo-doo, moo, moo. There was a big brown cow and a little brown cow. There was an old black cat, meow, meow, and a tiger tomcat, meow, meow. There's a big red dog, bow, wow, and there's some little puppy dogs all round and warm. And they all lived together in the big red barn, and they played all day in the grass and the hay. When the sun went down in the great green field, the big cow lowed and the little pig squealed. The horses stomped in the sweet warm hay, and the little donkey gave one last bray. It's sunset now. The hens were sleeping on their nests, even the roosters took a rest. The little black bats flew away out of the barn at the end of the day. So there's the animals all going back to their barn. And if you look closely, you can see the bats leaving the barn. And there they were all night long, sound asleep. In the big red barn. Only the mice were left to play, rustling and squeaking in the hay, while the moon sailed high. In the dark night sky. There's a scarecrow. All right, so let's talk about these two books. One of them gave us information and facts, and one of them was just a fun story from somebody's imagination. This one gave us facts. This is called a nonfiction book. Nonfiction gives us facts, and most of the time they use photographs as the pictures. Not all the time though. If you remember, I'm gonna pull this book back from the other day. This one was a nonfiction book also, but it used drawings. It didn't use pictures. And then this book is from somebody's imagination. This is called a fiction book. So fiction books come from somebody's imagination. They're not real, but they're still a fun story. All right. I want you to tell your grown-up a sentence with the sight word I, the sight word like, the sight word and the sight word the. I want you to tell them a sentence with that. And then we're going to talk about beginning sounds again. So I'm going to say 2 words, and I want you to tell your grown-up another word that starts with the same beginning sound. Okay. Corn, combine. Corn, combine. Tell your grown-up you're with another word. All right. Barn, beans. Barn, beans. Tell them another word. All right. Wheat, wind. Wheat, wind. Hay, horse. Hay, horse. Tell them another word that begins with that same first sound. Last one. Tractor, truck. Tractor, truck. All right, and I want you to ask your family members, if you have brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, or mom, dad, I want you to ask them what their favorite farm animal is. Miss Morton's favorite farm animal is a cow. All right, that is all for our farming unit, boys and girls. I hope you learned lots of information. I will see you next week. Have a good weekend.